I feel what we'll get in this podcast, most people wouldn't be able to get out of me.
Yep,
You get. So this is about to be one for the books, God willing.
And
And I got the deal. Bro, then we're seeing like 350k pounds. I'm like, wow, this is a huge check. I called on some, like, we finally got it, man. It's here. And also says, yeah, no, I don't want management anymore. Bro, that deal just sank. All my 4 years of work gone. I'm like, yo, what am I gonna do? The best executives in music are creative entrepreneurs.
Okay.
It's not just the fact that you like business, because the truth is you will cheat the artist if you just like business, because you don't have the ability to think of radical ways of facilitating business creatively in a way that benefits everybody equally. And this fundamentally is because there's a lack of trust in the industry.
Hello and welcome to my Innovation Story podcast, where you hear exclusive stories of innovators around Africa. Today, our guest is Muyiwa Awuni, also known as Donawon. Muyiwa is a music executive, the founder of BSB Management Agency, the manager of renowned global talent, including Tems, Omale, and Leka Beats. He's also the founder of Insights, a platform that he uses to inspire and mentor, I would say, up-and-coming talents within the music industry. Muyiwa, it's honestly a pleasure to have you here. And for those who don't know, he's also my brother. Well, technically my cousin, but who cares?
Yeah, we share the same surname.
Muyiwa, lovely to have you here.
Thanks for having me, bro. Short notice as well, but I said, what? It's family. I have to pull up.
Gats.
You know?
I love it. So a couple of threads in your life that we can pull on, but let's wind the clock back.
Yeah, I mean, we can go as back as possible because we grew up together. Yeah. I feel what we'll get in this podcast, most people wouldn't be able to get out of me.
Yep,
you get. So this is about to be one for the books, God willing.
I love it.
Yeah.
So let's go to some of your earliest inspirations. What were some of the things that drew you or inspired you to music, looking all the way back to your childhood?
What? Okay, so the account I'm about to give is more of the accounts that my parents gave me, right? So funny enough, it has to do with one of my earliest injuries in life. So at the bottom of my lip, there's a scar, right? And apparently I got that scar when I was 2. So what happened was there was this song by Phil Collins that I love. Just another day without you. I still love that song till today. So apparently as a kid, I would keep going to fiddle with the music box to try and put the song on repeat. At the age of 2, I knew how to do that, right? So what I'll do is I'll go with my tricycle, cycle, do it, cycle around, then just be doing that. So there was a time, apparently, when I tried to do it, that the front wheel of the tricycle tilted forward, and I bashed my bottom lip at the edge of the table. So they rushed me to the hospital. So that's how much I loved music, to the point that it was my first injury ever in life, my first stitch, everything. So, that's the earliest, would I call it a memory, but earliest account of my interest in music. I think the second thing is just, how much I love melodies, how much I've always loved melodies, rather, just from the standpoint of my interpretation of music sonically. Visually, when I hear certain things, because I'm a very visual person, right? And when I hear music, I start imagining things. Like back in the day as a child, I would imagine music videos as me being the artist, though, when I had no real context as to the music business. So I used to imagine myself as the artist, and all of these things. So yeah, those are like my memories in terms of playing around with my interest in music overall.
Very interesting. I remember, for those who don't know, we used to go to the same primary school. And sometimes we'll car share, we'll go together. And there were some songs like Enya, if you remember Enya. We loved Enya growing up.
Do you guys know who Enya is?
We loved her, man. It was amazing. But then, you went through, obviously you banged up your lip. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
But I think over time, you've always loved music. I could tell that, obviously, being quite close to you.
Carlos Santana. Do you remember when we were stuck in the forest in Mopa?
Yeah.
And that was the song that kept us singing. Maria.
I actually remember this.
Yeah, like music has kind of like been the theme, the soundtrack to our lives, and some artists have really stood out, like Tupac. Like my dad used to listen to Tupac back in the days a lot.
Celine Dion too.
Celine Dion, Enya, Nelly, funny enough. We had it, Nelly, Eminem, My dad just had so many tapes in the car, and that was my form of entertainment because, most kids had like Game Boys and PlayStations. Once we had music, you understand? So
I remember that. No, that's crazy.
yeah.
But then how did that transition into wanting to make something out of yourself within the music space? Because you could have done many things.
Yeah.
You have an affinity for business, and then your love for music led to you actually starting BSB management at some point in the future. So could you tell us how that story flowed into talent management?
It's not something I planned, to be very honest. I didn't plan to be anything in music. I feel what had happened was I knew the things I didn't like early more than the things that I liked. Meaning I knew the things I didn't want more than the things I wanted, right? So being in the confines of school, I mean, you know how much I hated school.
Yeah.
Please go to school. Well, now we have ChatGPT. But still go and get an education if you're trying to specialize in something, right? However, for me, being told what to do that didn't align with my interests was more or less like a prison for me. And what I would see or what I would project is a 9-to-5 is just an elevated version of school. So I knew that whatever time I had in school to figure out what it is I wanted to do could not replicate the 9-to-5 model, because literally to me, the only difference between school and 9-to-5 is that they are paying you to go to paying you to go to school, more or less, right? So from that standpoint, I just started being proactive in many things.
Yeah.
So if you remember when YouTube was a thing, you know, I called you, I was like, yo, let's start shooting content. I need boys. Nobody was doing content creation. In fact, the only person that was doing content creation then was Don't Jealous Me.
Yeah.
You understand?
I remember.
It was me, you, Deji. Like we would do Our Need Boys. And just from there, we started getting a following online. And within like schools, like A-levels, people knew us, you know.
Yeah.
So we're gathering a cult following just by doing Our Need Boys. And because it was comedy, it was easy for people to share and spread. So that was happening, right? So from that time, I was like, oh, okay, cool. We're getting something. I was like, okay, let's try and transition to product. Which is when I called you, I was like, yo, let's do the bakery. You understand? So the bakery was kind of like the merch aspect of this Our Need Boys thing we were doing. This is what I'm saying. Nobody even knows this thing.
They don't remember.
And there's no evidence because I deleted everything. My dad pressured me to delete it. He said I was embarrassing him. But the bakery is still on.
It's still up, right?
So if you type the Our Need Boys, the bakery, everything will come out.
Yeah.
But that wasn't sustainable because the company that was actually manufacturing and delivering everything, they were just taking like 80% of everything.
Yeah.
And I was just marketing on Twitter. And all we had was Twitter actually at the time. Yeah. Maybe MSN, but as Twitter was taking over, MSN was dying. But as that happened, what would happen naturally is my network started increasing because I started interacting with so many different people personally, right? So after a while, it was just hard for us to keep on shooting these things because, you know, life was taking its different directions to the three of us, so we couldn't shoot as frequently. And then what would happen is I would fail my A-levels as a result of trying to do all these content creation things, and all these business things. And then I would do a foundation year, right, before I go to university.
Gotcha.
My foundation year, I was in Cambridge, Bellerby's Cambridge, and there I met somebody called Okwe Teflon. Now, Okwe Teflon saw something in me that I didn't see myself, which was the value of my network. Because he will come to me and say, please manage me. And I'm like, what does that even mean? You know, like, what is management? It was not like, oh, you know a lot of people. So I don't know, maybe you can just help me with my career and stuff. Now, from a musical standpoint, I didn't really care too much about music. Do you understand? However, I cared about storytelling, right? Yeah. Because that's what we were doing fundamentally. We're telling stories. Yeah. Every episode on Our Need Boys was a story, a unique story as well. So I was like, all right, cool. Let's try and work with something. So there was a guy called Mike Vaskev. Mike, if you see this, man, he's a guy from Ukraine. Mike was a photographer and a videographer. So the first ever video that Okwe Teflon shot was by this Mike Vaskev guy. And then I saw the final product. For me, that was the best thing since sliced bread. Like, you couldn't have told me any different. Mind you, by the way, music at this time is not something to be proud of doing. Yeah. At this time, if you are doing music, you are either doing it for fun or you are deemed to be on serious.
That was the only option.
Do you understand? But then I was just getting the knack of these things when nobody knew, right? So managed Okwe for a bit. Through Okwe, I met some more people in the music industry. So I met Ajebota. You know, I already knew Bodge because Bodge went to the same primary school with us. Through Bodge, I met TZ. You know, I just met a whole different community that would evolve eventually to become what they call the Alter community, right? But Okwe was kind of like my first artist that introduced me to a network of people that I personally don't think I would have cared to know as a result of just how in my world I was as a Nick. A Nick is a geek, basically. Because for me, and the routine hasn't really changed. After I'm done with school, I'm just going to play video games and that's it, right?
Yep.
But the moment OPEC called me to manage him, I was now proactive in my life, right?
Yeah.
So all of that happened. And then eventually, when I went to uni, my entrepreneurial hat came up again.
Yeah.
I said, man, I'll start doing parties, you know? So Nottingham, at the time when I was there for 3 years, was the place to be.
Yeah.
If you know,
Not
you
where it
know.
rocks.
Listen,
Not where
me
it
and my
rocks,
guy, shout out Buhari, shout out Orizu, like we threw the maddest parties. Like people used to come from all over just to attend these parties, you know? And through those parties, I met a guy called Shafiq. Shafiq, his dad is the president of Ghana now. We literally became like inseparable. He came for one of my parties and I was just a good host to him. I didn't even know who he was, right? My friend Adim brought him. Shout out Adim as well. And then we became close. So through Shafiq, and I noticed another thing during that time period. I noticed that people used to wear dashikis because them DRB boys were pioneering that. So I was like, I need to start selling this, right? So from that standpoint, I was casually telling Shafiq my idea of selling dashikis. He said, bro, I get 100 of these for free. I said, excuse me. He said, yeah. Like people just dash me this based on President's son. I said, bro, can I have them? He said, yeah. So I was getting inventory for free.
Crazy.
Bro, I started selling dashikis. And the way I'll do it is I wear dashiki to school. People would see me wear it. I had created a website for all of this as well. In fact, shout out Davido, because back then, I would carry all the dashikis in my car and go to different people that I knew, I'll go to their houses, right? And ask whoever would care to wear the dashiki to wear it. And I'll take a picture and I'll put it on my website. You understand? Man, I don't do everything for this. So I did all of that, yeah. And as I did that, I would create my website and then eventually I'll go to school and I'll sell dashikis ranging between £20 to £40, depending on the type of dashiki, the demand, and the quality. Because another thing that happened is my dad went to Kenya and he got some dashikis that basically looked like gold and cream, like so special. So those ones I inflated the prices, but they were limited and I made them limited on the site. So at this point in time, I'm making money in school. At this point in time, I'm like, man, what is school really when I'm really doing what is necessary? Like I'm making $1,000 probably every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks. And £1,000 back then is not. That's what
student, it was something.
As a student, and then I'll put that money into my parties as well. So I was learning the business of structure, you know, firsthand, just based off putting myself into life. Eventually, throughout that process, I would manage different people at that point in time. So I was still managing Opeteflon at that time, but unfortunately he lost his dad. So when he lost his dad, like, you know, things just started disintegrating. Then I started managing a guy called Sam Takes Off. Now Sam Takes Off is a guy on Vine. Now before Vine, I used to do something called Kik, right? Because content creation, like from a skit standpoint, started popping up on Kik before Vine took over, right? So I put myself out there as a creator. And I blew on Kik. Like I actually blew on Kik, right? The moment I hacked the logistics of it, I deleted my account. I was like, yeah.
Why?
Because I'm not a comedian. I just put myself out there to understand
how it works.
Because I didn't have a guinea pig, right? I didn't have anybody that I could work with to experiment from the standpoint of understanding that world. So I put myself out there. I just use our Awoni boy's knowledge to like make skits. And bro, it blew. Like, do you remember the time I was talking about?
I do.
So after that now, as I then deleted my account, I was like, okay, I need to look for somebody, because obviously Ope had introduced me to the realm of management. So I need to look for somebody that can build a brand around. As Kik was dying, Vine was picking up, and then Sam Takes Off is now doing his thing. So I contact him. He replies back, I'm like, yo, let's work together. I have an idea. Come to London. Bro, I told him, announce to your Twitter that we are doing an impromptu meet and greet at Shepherd's. What mall was it? Westfield Mall.
Westfield, yeah.
Bro, that mall, thousands of people came. And then I was selling merch as well. So we brought some merch under the tree, right? Because I went to Houston. Man, I don't suffer, for real. I went to Houston to print out some shirts, right? Some because Sam had this catchphrase called "Don't move a muscle," right? Okay. So I would create like a cartoon. Shout out Duro Arts, he drew that. Of him like trying to slap somebody, right? And then that printed it on tees. So I was selling that as well during the meet and greet. People were taking pictures. I came with my guys. We didn't have real money for security, so I came with my guys, you understand? As the bouncers, right? So So that was an eye-opening event.
Right,
But
yeah.
then, tragically, Sam lost his mom. And he just stopped doing comedy, So at that point in time, I'm like, yeah, it's all well and good. Let me just face the music of the fact that I failed school, just trying to, expand all my energy in this thing. So, Shasha, I managed to graduate with a 2-2. That's by God's grace. I don't even know how I did that, to be honest. I graduated with a 2-2, and then I went to do my master's. As I was doing my master's, I mean, you remember that time, like we used to just live, right? I had made money, so
Futures concert.
yeah.
Oof.
So it was that Futures concert did something to me in terms of just understanding the experience of music in real life.
Yeah.
Like you've listened to music, right? And then you're experiencing it from the standpoint of how the artist intended you to experience it, not your own interpretation. So anyway, during that time, I would kind of like, enjoy myself, live life. Now, sorry, before I went to start doing my master's, I started managing an artist called Nizzy for a very short period of time. When I heard his music for the first time, I was like, this guy is sick. I want to work with him. But very quickly, and shout out Nizzy because he saw that we are interested in each other, but we're not aligned on a lot of things. So that managerial stint didn't last too long. But in the process, I met Yuji. Because Nizzy and Yuji had a song together, right? Cool. So Yuji and I became friends. No wahala. So I'm in my master's, just living life. Then Yuji calls me. And he goes, yo, bro, I think I have somebody for you that I think you will manage well. I said, who? He said, his name is Nonso Amadi. I said, bro, send me the song. He plays me tonight. Now, let me stop you. There was a time, this is during my master's, by the way, all of this happened during my master's. There was a time I was in the bathroom. And I had this, my speakers back then now. So I had some loud a soundbar and a subwoofer. And Tonight came on, but it was SoundCloud days, you understand? So everybody was unknown and it was just a song I heard.
Yeah.
But when I heard it, because I was still showering, the song had gone so deep in the shuffle realm that when I came back to try and find the song, I couldn't find it again. No wahala. Then Yuji sends me the song. Then I'm screaming like, bro, you don't understand. Like I heard this song and I was looking for it and I can't find it. And you brought it to me. I'm like, let me talk to this boy. Now, Nonso is a kid in Canada. He's trying to finish school. He's doing this music thing. His parents hates the fact that he's doing it. And I'm like, look, keep doing your school thing. I will carry this song. I'll shoot a video for this song for you. I called UAX, shout out UAX forever. That's my brother. UAX shot that video for me for close to nothing. I introduced him to Jules. Through Jules, we made radio. Introduced him to Malik. Through Malik, we made early. Introduced him, him and Yuji had a relationship. After that, we did Kwasia. You understand? So my friendship group kind of like helped facilitate the navigation of Nonso's career post Tonight. Because one thing I knew was Tonight was an amazing song for people to consume timelessly. But in order for you to have an identity globally, you still have to have some authenticity in your music. And for you, Tonight can't be it because there's real R&B from America. And that is a market that is already churning out so much of this already. So I knew we needed some African elements. At first, I thought it would be Legendary Beats that would help with that. But Legendary were on the run with Wiz. Shout out Wiz. Wiz helped. I'll tell the story with Nonso and Wiz eventually. So, cut a long story short, all of this was happening. Then I go. So this time I'm traveling between London and Lagos. Shout out Shopsy Do as well. Shopsy really helped push Nonso's narrative as well. So I'm shuffling between London and Lagos while Nonso is in Canada, right? Like I'm going to radio stations. And I didn't have a team. I was alone, but I was younger, so I had energy. Cool. So from that standpoint now, I go to Wiz's house, right? And Shady, who's my guy, Shady and I are just talking about Nonso because Shady is very interested in Nonso, right? And then eventually, and this is how Wiz and I started like getting close. Wiz just noticed that everybody in this house knows this guy apart from me. Like everybody, like Benga, SARS, Legendary, like everybody knows. So one day, he just calls me. No, he doesn't even call me. I'm leaving Shady's side of the house, and I have to pass through the living room in Wiz's old house. So Wiz had two living rooms, one at the bottom, one at the top. So I'm passing Wiz basically, and then Wiz just says, "You are fine now." I said, "Come and sit down," because Wiz loves African magic. So I'm sitting down watching African magic with Wiz, and we're just sitting down quietly watching African magic. And that was how we started, like, building rapport. Eventually, one day he calls me and it's like, yo, if you guys want to use my studio, like, it's cool. Do you understand? Like, my producer is here. Like, come, let's vibe, you know. So Nonso came. You know, they were vibing, but nothing really manifested properly. Wiz invited me to his Afro Carnival show back then. I don't know if you remember when Wiz did the O2 like 3 times, back to back to back.
Yep.
You know, he would invite me. Bro, Wiz was just being kind to me, you know. So I was like, okay, this is a favor from God. Like, you know, until tomorrow, Wiz is my brother. If I'm from here, I'm going to go and see him. So, yeah, cut a long story short now. Nonso and I were doing nothing. Then one day he calls me and says he doesn't want management anymore. And during these times, I'm working on a publishing deal because I'm seeing, okay, right now, his stage performance is not that strong. So I can't really commit him to an agency for booking shows. So what I'll do is I'll organize shows myself in like Canada, in London, just talk to promoters and organize the shows. Even in Nigeria, the one we did at Longpay, Hard Rock, you understand? Did all of that. That's when I was looking for bank sponsors to.
I remember. Jesus.
By the way, is this story coherent? Because I feel like
No, it is.
Okay,
And there are a few things to draw on, but
yeah. So I was getting tired because we were making money.
Yeah.
You know, the hotel world then was not profitable. If Afrobeat was even that profitable then, talk less of the hotel world, you know. So from that standpoint now, I'm like, okay, you know what? Since Nonso isn't ready for stage performance, there's no point of partnering with an agency. Because I was talking to agencies, but then I was like, let me focus on getting bread from a publishing standpoint.
Gotcha.
So I started talking to Tiny Temper, very good friend of mine, about getting an admin deal, right? And I got the deal. Bro, then we're seeing like 350K pounds. I'm like, wow, this is a huge check. I called on some, like, we finally got it, man. It's here. And also says, yeah, no, I don't want management anymore. Bro, that deal just sank. All my 4 years of work gone. I'm like, yo, what am I gonna do? Like, I remember I was doing all of this alone. So I had to move back to Nigeria. I moved back to Nigeria, bro. I'm hearing rumors about me from people that I don't even know. Saying that I stole from Nonso. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Who are broke? I'm like, all right, cool, no wala. So at this point in time, before I leave, in fact, the reason I left is because I had a very bad breakdown in my room. And then at that point in time, I just said, all I have left is God. I don't have anyone else. And I even realized that throughout this journey, I just ignored God. I was just so focused on my goal. Like the concept of a creator wasn't even in my psyche. I was just relying on my wisdom that God had given me, my network, my communicative skills. That's all I was relying on. So in that, in my apartment in London, I just said, God, you know what? Let me find out who you are. Because at this point in time, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Everything around me was telling me go to Nigeria, bro. So I moved back to Nigeria. Of course, coming back to Nigeria, I'm moving straight to my parents' house.
I remember.
Disastrous.
I remember.
So you are going to do a job, you know, we're going to look for a job for parastatal for you. Don't worry, your daddy's friends. I'm like, I said, give me 2 years, please. I said, just give me 2 years to just find my way, you know. In the process, I'm on Instagram and I see a dope video. And I'm like, who shot this? It's a guy called Zamani. Zamani lives in Nasarawa State. Used to move from Nasarawa to Abuja. Sorry. So from that standpoint now, as I saw that video, I DM'd him. No, I hit up UA, right? Because UA knew Zamani. And I told him, yo, I'm trying to work with this kid, you know? So Zamani came to Lagos and he was staying with me. And very quickly, we built an amazing production company that used to shoot content for banks. So I was making money through shooting content for banks, you understand? At this point in time, I started this production company with him to actually shoot music video for artists. But when I saw how much banks were paying me for commercials and ads, I'm like, you know what, artists can chill, do you understand? So I was making money. That was the first time I traveled to Dubai, like on my own money. I was like, what? So this is what it means to make money? So I'm back in the game of business. Now, during that time period now, I'm just focusing on my work with God. So the art of staying present to actually have gratitude so that you can even see the avenues and opportunities that are there for you, you know? And that will now lead me to the Tems story. So what happened was one day, 2 of my producer friends flew in from LA and, you know, they're my guys. So I'm taking care of them. I even introduced them to the person that they stayed, the crib that they stayed in, I introduced them to the person, etc. So they're having sessions in this house, right? And then the first time I go for one of their sessions, everybody's happy. House is packed, everyone is jumping, bubbly, it's dope, it's lit, cool. So maybe 4 days after I go again, it's a completely different vibe. Everybody's gloomy, everybody's sad. And the only reason why I went there was because I wanted to surprise them with Suya. It's not as if I even had intentions to go. So this is me thinking of my guys, right? Bro, as soon as I entered, I just gauged the temperature. I was like, something is wrong. So I enter, and then one of them now goes, yo, there's this girl that just saying no to all the beats we're playing. Like all the beats we're playing, she's just saying no. And I don't even think she realizes that this is the best opportunity she will have to work with people like us. I don't really want to work with her again. He was pissed. Obviously, he was speaking from a place of anger.
Yeah,
I don't think he meant it, but he was angry. So I said, who is this girl? There's some girl called Tems, man. Now, back in my master days, so this is 4 years post-masters, I heard Mr. Rebel. No, sorry. 2 years before I moved back, or a year before I moved back, I heard Mr. Rebel on SoundCloud because I'm a SoundCloud guy.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I know that name very well. You understand? And I'd seen some of her covers as well. The cover I remember was when she did Lil Wayne's Hustler Music. I was like, I like this girl. Like, I like her attitude. I like, you know. So when I heard it was her, I was like, okay, no wahala now. So me, I'm not somebody that's follow. Just because my friend is angry with you doesn't mean I'm angry with you. So everybody's networking with their people in the camp. And then Tems is just sitting out at the corner on her J's, looking so sad. So I'm talking to a guy called Moses, and we're talking on the balcony that she's on, but she's at the corner. And then she's just catching my eye. Eventually I tell Moses, I'm like, bro, I beg, let's have this conversation another time. I need to talk to that girl. So I walk up to her just to check on her. What I thought would be a 5 minutes conversation turned to like an hour 30 conversation.
Really? Just
me and her.
Gotcha.
We're talking. And I'll come to find out that what I said that made her light bulb blink was when I told her, oh, it just looks like you're looking for a home in this mad place called Lagos. She said, when I said that, and she'll tell me later that when I said that, for her, it was like, oh my gosh, you see me. And I said, yo, this is my number, right? Call me anytime. Bro, she called. And remember, that's when I started doing Donawon podcast. So I started my podcast then because what else am I doing? Yeah. And I had Zamani and everybody. Gotcha. And remember, Tems would just be at the corner sitting down. When I'm shooting all my
quietly.
She's just happy she's in a space that she feels comfortable. You know, there's food, there's everything, you know, because you know how she grew up, bro. It was just disastrous. So from that standpoint now, we had a friendship, you know. I felt like this is somebody that I don't want to see suffer, even though I'm suffering. You understand? So what will now happen is she would ask me to manage her. Yeah. And at first, I'm excited to do it, you know, because I believe, it's not even just believe, I knew what to do. Do you understand? Because of experience and network. But then my partner, Zamani, wasn't just feeling her. Yeah. And he couldn't really articulate it to me. Why? And me, I knew for what I wanted to do, I needed visuals. Yeah. Like, I wanted to document the rise of a young superstar. You understand? Because I just knew. So eventually I told Zamani, you know what? I'm going to do this without you. No wala. We'll keep doing our production stuff. But with this artist thing, I'm going to do it with her. Yeah. So Tems and I would eventually come to an agreement. And then I'll tell her, yo, I need help though. Like, I need a co-manager because the last time I did this with an artist, I was burnt out. Gotcha. And she goes, it's so funny you say this because there's somebody else that's been helping me with my music. You know, that's Wale from Show Them Camp. Gotcha. And I'm like, oh, I know Wale because Wale and I worked together for one of his songs that Nonso was on. So we had like a brief convo and it was very easy to do business. Like, oh, you need this clear done, track done. No payments, we just allocate splits. Fine. Cool. So that's the only thing he remembered from me. That's Wale. But then I told you that they were spreading rumors about me that I was a thief. So Wale was hearing these things as well.
Like, what's happening?
And he was like, man, Temi, are you sure about this? Temi is like, that's why I don't play with her. She looked at Wale, she said, I am sure. Like, he's the one. Do you understand? She said, just talk to him and you understand what I'm saying. Bro, when Wale and I spoke, he was like, yeah, I get it. Like, this Lagos is a crazy place. Like we're aligned. So Temi would keep chasing me to sign a managerial contract that I sent her, right? And I'd never seen that before. Because anytime you present paperwork to artists, they shy away. It's like, I don't want to sign anything. You know, let's just do now. Let's just vibe. She's like, we have signed. Have you signed? Can you sign? Can you sign? And I looked at her, I was like, we're not doing this conventional managerial thing. Let's start a company together. I said, go and register a company. She said, I've actually registered a company. I said, I said, for what reason? She said, I just registered it because, you know, the name Leading Vibe. She said, I registered it under the name Leading Vibe. I was like, why? She said, I don't know. I just used it in one of my lyrics and I just decided to register it. I said, fantastic. I said, who are the directors there? She said, just me and my brother. I said, we're changing it to me and Wale. So right now, Leading Vibe is me, Wale, Tems, right? And we all have equity in the company.
So let me pause there because there are a couple of things to draw on.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of those who are listening to this and number one are interested in entering the entertainment space, the music space, and they're not sure where their niche is. So the first thing is looking at your story, there was a strong reliance on your network.
Yeah,
You
100%.
were very intentional about building that network. So that's one thing that's coming to my mind for people that are listening, that
Yeah,
things don't just happen and you're only as strong as the people that you have around you.
100%.
The second thing is you were sure you didn't want the quintessential academic route.
Yeah,
So there's a level of self-awareness that you had to pull on.
yeah.
And I think that level of self-awareness is especially hard to get in the entertainment space. I want to come back to your story on how you, Tems, Wale, were able to grow from that point. But I want to make a slight pivot and I want to get your thoughts on this actually. For those who are in the music space and are just trying to find their niche, they're new, they know they love music, but they don't have the creative talents to back it. How would you advise
So
them?
they love music.
They love music. They
As
love
in
entertainment.
like executives.
Yes.
Okay.
But they love business more than they have the creative talents to actually do anything in the music space. How would you advise them to navigate that path? Like, what would you advise them to actually start doing in order to identify what that niche for them is?
Okay, so if the best executives in music are creative entrepreneurs,
Okay.
it's not just the fact that you like business. Because the truth is, you will cheat the artist if you just like business, because you don't have the ability to think of radical ways of facilitating business creatively in a way that benefits everybody equally. And this fundamentally is because there's a lack of trust in the industry, which is why if somebody discovers an artist, they don't care enough about the artist to do what me and Wale did with Tems, which is structure a company, right?
Gotcha.
We would rather sign you to us, own your masters, own everything to because it's a gamble at the end of the day.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know if you will blow.
Mm.
But for me, I know say we go blow. By the grace of God, you know.
Yeah.
So from that standpoint, right, she had shown me so much just as a person. And I think that's really what it is, right? As an executive, you have to really make sure that the people around you are on the same wavelength as you. And when I say wavelength, sometimes you might not have the clarity of vision, but based off just having people that have common values as you, the vision will kind of like show itself to be what it is, you know? Because, for example, someone like Wale, he's older than Tems and I, right? So from the standpoint of him navigating the industry for years, there are some portals I wouldn't enter from a niche standpoint, because he like we're all from the alter part of the industry, right? There are just some things that I wouldn't make a mistake from because of Wale. Also because of the Malik, Mr. Easy, and Yuji, who are my friends as I was navigating with also as well. So there's just so much information that Wale and I have kind of attained to create a niche for Tems. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's really that. It's like if you're a business person and you're not good creatively, stack yourself with knowledge. You have to be as knowledgeable as possible in the field that you're interested in, so that even if you're not that creative, you can structure as a result of how much you know. So studying is key. That's the only way you can really create.
Study the game.
You have to be a student of the game. I'm still a student, man. That's why I don't like when people call me boss. It's weird. It's like, no. I'm like you. I'm just like you. The difference between me and you is time. That's all.
I love that, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, let's double down on this. Now, talking about, or starting from when you, Tems, and Wale registered Leading Vibe, and it became a thing. Could you walk us through how your journey rose from there?
Of course. So there's a friend of ours called Larry Marshall, right? Larry Marshall went to Wale. Larry used to work with Jameson at the time, right? No, Pernod Ricard in general. And that's the parent company for Jameson, Martel, all these people. So he would tell Wale that, yo, look, we're looking for artists to put forward for a campaign for Jameson to sponsor a music video, right? And Larry was telling Wale that, yo, I want to put your name forward as per Show Them Camp. Then Larry was like, do you have any other person that we can put names forward? So he was like, okay, Tommy Thomas and Tems, you know, just based off Alter community. Cool. They picked Tems, you understand? God's favor. So as they picked Tems, now mind you, Tems had played me Try Me, right? Without telling me she had shot the video for Try Me, because all of this happened during the time me and Tems are talking. So Tems will be coming to my house. Meanwhile, she's shooting music video for Try Me and she's not telling me. Do you understand? So what will now happen is, through that Jameson deal, right? Try Me video was shot. And then Tems will come and present not just the song, but the video. I'm like, let's go to MTV base now. Literally. So she entered my car and we were driving to MTV base. Bro, drove to Sound City. And that's what I love about Tems. Like, until today, she's a rider. Like, if I'm like, yo, we're doing this, she's like, all right, let's go. Do you understand? She's not even asking too many questions because she can comprehend it, not as quick as me, but like quick enough for her to be comfortable based on trust. You understand?
So trusting.
It's trust. So I said, oh yeah, let's move. Let's start going. So there was a time MTV base, shout out Daniel, that's my brother. Shout out Yinka Su, that's my sister. They had helped me with Nonso, so I knew the MTV based people. I was like, look, I need you guys to push this video heavy on TV. They said, I got you, don't worry. So I'm filling the form because you have to fill in the form. Tems just holds my shoulder. She says, Mu, I've had a dream of this moment that you are filling this exact form and I have a good feeling based off the dream I had. I can't remember it, but this is deja vu. I looked at her. I started feeling the form faster. I feel that form so fast. I said, you had dream. Let's be going. So, bro, Jameson put a marketing budget of $4,000 on the Try Me video on YouTube, right? Because that's the way, we structured the deal. Yeah. And then, what's it called? It was moving on TV. It was moving on radio. Shout out Moya Baby. Shout out Timmy B. Shout out Kemi Smalls. So many people are just helping me. Do you understand? Don't get twisted though. They didn't really get the record. But it's Muiwa. Oh yeah, no wala. We'll push. Bro, before I knew it, Try Me popped. It's like mission complete. Yes, the song is going. Remember I told you I have a brother called Whiskey that he's just always studying me, even though I don't, whether I know it or not, he's studying me. So my guy, Rotimi Rude Boy, calls me one day when we have a show. Megan Thee Stallion came to Nigeria at that time and Timmy was scheduled to perform. It was Rhythm Unplugged. So, what's it called? Rotimi calls me. He's like, are you Aiko? I was like, yeah. He was like, all right, man. Will I say, who is want to see you? I said, he wants to see me. He said, yeah. In my mind, I said, he's not seeing me, he's seeing my artist too. So I said, oh, yeah, no, wala, they come. So I go to Tems. I say, Tems, Wiz wants to see you. Do you understand? So I carried her. We went. So I walked. Because Wiz knew everything that happened with me and also.
Okay, good.
And he was just like, but he's still my guy. So he saw me. He hugged me. He now looked at me and said, you don't do him again, Abi. I said, my brother, we did a hustle, man. I was like, this is her. Then Wiz was like, yo, your voice is amazing. Like, tell you what, I'll bring you out for my show. This was in December. His show was in December. This happened in November. Really? So the show happened. It was huge. Like, obviously, by this time, everybody knew Try Me.
Got you.
It was my birthday as well when that happened. And that was the same day I met Olamide. So that happened. Tems performed. Then when I went backstage, I'm sitting there with Tems. Olamide comes to sit down next to us. And then we're just gisting. Then Tems now goes, today's his birthday. Bro, Olamide said, what? Olamide carried Tems, said, oh yeah, sit in my car. We're going to the clubs. Bro, Olamide bust bottles on my head. This is the first time he's meeting me. Do you understand? Back then, this is when I used to go to the clubs. I don't go to the clubs again. I'm a born again Christian now. Disclaimer. I beg, please. So from that standpoint, so that happened. Then eventually, Wiz will call me. He'll be like, yo, what are you guys on? I'm like, by this time, everybody's anticipating Made in Lagos. So this is the peak of anticipation. So it's like, yo, come to Oriental. Yeah. Let's have a session. We went for the session. We recorded Essence. Bro, that day I still remember that day like it was yesterday. I remember what all of us wore. I remember everything. Do you understand? After we finished, Tems is just a comedian. We were walking to the car. Tems just goes, oh my God, I did rubbish. She said, I did rubbish. Wow, I hate the song. I just looked at her. I said, Timmy, the song you just recorded is a transcending song. I made her understand. I'm like, look, when I listen to it, it reminds me of like the elegance of ballroom dancing. Yeah. You understand? There's a regal element to the song. Yeah. That's because I'd heard some of his other songs, right? That I knew the album didn't have. I'm like, and this is what I said, I don't think Nigerians will appreciate it. But if this song crosses over, it's going. You understand? She was like, you think so? I said, let's pray. Brother, like clockwork. Do you understand? The song came out. People didn't really feel it here at first. As soon as America got a hold of it, it was a wrap. You understand? Essence takes off. As this is happening, we're working on her debut EP. You understand? For Broken Years. And also labels are chasing us. For me, I already knew the game. I'm like, I ain't signing to anybody because I want to own something. Why? Because we had registered the company. And your company can only exist if you own something. You feel me? For Broken Years drops, brother, is a madness. Do you understand what I'm saying? Things are just going up, 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 up. Before you know, it's Free Mind is picking up. Before you know, it's Future. Epic Records call me, say they want to sample higher. We structure a deal whereby she's credited as a feature. We have a bulk share of the publishing, like we own majority of the publishing of that song. Because when someone samples you, you can literally ask for everything if you want. You understand? Because it's and the way they sampled it too. Do you understand? So from that standpoint, we ask for everything that you can probably ask for, which led us to winning a Grammy. Because if we didn't ask to be credited as a feature, we wouldn't have a Grammy. But shout out my lawyer, Wale Kalijaye. He's the one that dropped that idea in our head. He said, "You ask for feature credit."
Gotcha.
I said, that makes sense. So they give us everything because they didn't know what the song would do. Me, in my heart, I knew. Even Wale too, my co-manager, we knew. We're like, oh, this is gone. You know? And Drake wasn't on it then. So we cleared all of this. Drake wasn't on the record, right? Maybe 2 weeks before, I just get a call from Epic Records saying, hey, look, from a royalty standpoint, from a publishing standpoint, can we drop some publishing for a new artist we're trying to get on? I said, I can't drop publishing, but I can drop royalty points. So we reduced some of the royalty points just to accommodate the new artist. I'll come to find out that that artist is Drake. We cleared the record. He's going. No wala. So, bro, Wait For You goes #1 in America. Everybody is just mesmerized by her voice. It's the same voice that now that did Essence. It's the same voice that did Free Mind. Oh, my bro, I said he's going. So, mind you, because we didn't sign to a label to push that album, where are you going to get the money to do it? Shout out Noor from YouTube. She put us in this program called Foundry. And they gave us like, I think 60K. And the pandemic now hit. Bro, the way we squeezed that 60K, we shot Damages video, we shot the Key video, we did this live thing they do on YouTube, live listening. We did live listening for Brokenness. Bro, I squeezed that money, you understand? When money like that comes, people have this tendency of trying to share the money, but we put all the money back in. And that's what I want people to learn. Like, look, if you want to be wealthy, you can't eat hand to mouth. You have to reinvest in the thing that you actually believe in so that it builds the value and the brand in a way that attracts more money. If you get small money, like what you think is a lot of money is not a lot of money in retrospect, right? So from that standpoint, things were just going well. I didn't have to sign to a label because we had some money. And by the time we signed to a label, we cut in the deal that we want to own for Broken Ears. Do you understand? And the only things that counted to the deal are albums. So even when we dropped If Orange Was a Place, it didn't count to our album deal. Do you understand what I'm saying? So long story short, through ownership, we were just making money in the company. Then shout out these guys, Ludwig and Ryan Kugler. They came to Lagos. I couldn't go. Funny enough, I was with you then. When Ryan came and they wanted to meet Tems and Wale, I was too lazy. Sorry, meet Tems and Wale, and I was too lazy. I was like, man, you guys should just go. Because I was lazy. Anyway, they went, and Ryan was talking about, the plans he had, etc. Initially, we were meant to even have the 2 records, Lift Me Up and the Bob Marley one that was on the trailer, No Woman, No Cry.
No Woman, No Cry. Okay.
Cool. But eventually, they gave the song to Rihanna. No Wala is going. So from a publishing standpoint, we are making money. From a master standpoint, we are making money. From a brand and imaging standpoint, we are making money because we started getting deals with Reebok, we're getting deals with WhatsApp. We're just making bread. So from that standpoint, we're building a company and we're not spending as much. Do you understand? We're just stacking. And then we started expanding the company. So now we could pay Dunsi as a stylist, we could hire Deeds, we could employ Trevor, we could just employ staff. Now our company is very big. You understand? We have so many. Right now, there's a show in South Africa. I'm not there. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Awesome.
The company is moving.
That's awesome.
And this is 6 years of Leading Vibes existence now. So thank God, man. Thank you, Jesus.
Honestly, I'm actually going to touch on the God elements of things because I know he's played a pivotal role in
this is the whole thing.
But I want to come back to the structure you put in place. And this is you and the team.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to deals. Because I know a lot of artists that have been messed over by signing the wrong deal.
Of course.
So do you have, and I know it's circumstantial, it's case by case, but in your mind, do you have a line of thinking that you go through when you're advising artists on what kind of deals to sign?
My own artists. I don't advise artists that I don't work with.
Your artists.
My artists, because, it's not my business. I wish you the best. I can explain what the deal means,
Got you.
But I won't tell you the decision to make. That's for my people.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So Yeah, I do. So there are three things for me.
Mm.
Number one, brand alignment. Does this align with our brand and our narrative? If it doesn't, forget about it. Now, if it is close to it, but not necessarily it, what do I mean close to it? Let's say we're trying to work with I'll use okay, I'll use sweets for example. Let's say we're trying to work with eclairs, and then Tom Tom comes, right? Tom Tom is not eclairs, but if we attach our brand to Tom Tom, it can be something. Do you understand what I'm saying? That one is now money. How much money are you bringing to make our brand align with yours? Do you understand what I'm saying? So yeah, so that's number two. Number three is partnership. So is this something we can do long term? Like, is this something that we can engage with long term, and then the ripple effect of that leads to more things? I can't really tell you who, but it's to be announced later this year. We've partnered with a luxury brand, and
Awesome.
and the way the relationship is going, God willing, amazing things are about to happen. Like we're about to do a big launch in Japan with this brand, right? This is happening in June. So, cut a long story short, the reason why we said yes to that is because of the way they presented the deal.
Gotcha.
You know, they came from the standpoint of, yo, look, we respect what you guys are doing. And as a result of this, we want to not just give you cash, but really align with you in this way, that way. Fantastic, cool. Oh yeah, there's one more new audience. So that was why I went with Formula One and Aston Martin, right? So when I was in conversations with them, it was a no-brainer for me to do. I didn't even do it for the money. I did it for the new audience that Formula One brings. Do you understand? Because it's a whole world of its own.
Yeah,
and Lewis Hamilton is actually a friend of Tems as well. You know, like we're all cool, like from the standpoint of being in the same spaces. He invited us for one of his races. If you check my Instagram page, like met his dad. His dad is amazing. But yeah, just as a result of the familiarity with Lewis and obviously Aston Martin reaching out to us, it just made sense to do. I just entered that world.
Gotcha.
But fundamentally, what it is any world that we can enter to expand her brand, because that's the thing. We're not trying to limit Tems to just be an artist that only girls can relate to. Children can relate to, men can relate to, grandpas and grandmas can relate to, Formula One drivers can relate to, wrestlers can relate to, boxers can relate to, footballers can relate to. And if you can relate to the music, we're entering your world. We invested in San Diego FC. That is a world where, because footballers like our music, we enter that world as well. Do you understand? Like there's really no limits as long as it aligns with what we're trying to do from an interest standpoint, a brand narrative standpoint, and a compatibility standpoint as well. So yeah, that's how we navigate.
I want to get slightly more technical now.
Yeah, sure.
Because I like the angle you've shared when it comes to partnerships and making partnerships happen.
Yeah.
But when it comes to signing deals with record labels, that's where a lot of it gets very dicey in that space. So one is, what are the different types of deals, especially for people who just don't have any idea? They can sing, they can rap, but they don't understand the business of music. What are the kind of deals that you've seen? So there's 360 and degrees of ownership in that space, but there are also some other kinds. So I'm trying to kind of break it down to fundamentals so that you can put some people on game.
Yeah.
What are the kind of deals you've seen, and are there any kind of words of wisdom you will share as far as what to sign or what to avoid?
Okay. This is I'm going to try and summarize this because this is a game of leverage, right? If you don't have any leverage, you're getting a 360. Do you understand? If you are nobody and a record label finds you and you blow through that record label, best believe that record label is taking, maybe if they are nice, they can collect 60, you take 40. If they are nice, do you understand? If they are not, they can take 80, you can take 20. Do you understand what I'm saying? And as you grow bigger, what should happen is that percentage should adjust. Should, ideally, in a real fair world. I don't know if that happens because I don't know this type of deals. My deal with my record label is not a 360. Do you understand? So, yes, if they discover you from scratch, that is it.
Yeah.
You're signed to a 360 most likely. Now, if you build some sort of leverage, there are different types of deals you can do. You can choose to do a single deal. So a single deal is your song is popping, it's mad, it's hot, and you want money now.
Yeah.
So you can sign the single deal. It's now released by the label. The labels will own the master rights, etc. Cool. Now, there's also like album deals, which is the deal I have with my label. So they strictly only make money on the record.
Gotcha.
On the master side of things. So the deal I have, we co-own the master of Born in the Wild with RCA. So what does that mean? If somebody wants to sample me and you, we have to approve and they have to approve. You understand?
Gotcha.
If you don't have a deal like that, last why you just do an album deal and they own your masters. They don't need your permission. They'll just approve it and then you are seeing your song somewhere. Do you understand? That's it. But because of the leverage we had, we orchestrated the deal in a way that we like. Plus, your masters can revert back to you if you actually have smart people negotiating on your behalf. Because if you see how badly somebody wants you, you better make sure that you're saving yourself. Do you understand? And also, as you grow, you should always be able to go back to the label and rediscuss your deal. Because deals are not binding. It's not that, obviously they're binding by law, but if you're trying to retain a relationship, the relationship has to precede the legal document. And if you want to be happy working with somebody, you always have to be able to go on the table. So there's a single deal, there's the album deal. And fundamentally, those are the deals that exist when it comes to the master side of things. The publishing side of things, there are two types of deals. There's the admin deal, and there's the publishing side of... There's publishing deal and admin deal. Now, an admin deal, naturally, to collect the royalties of your publishing, you need to do an admin. You need an admin, which is somebody that collects your royalties for you. But you don't need to take money up front. What will happen is, for a certain percentage, maybe 5%, they'll collect the royalties for you. And that's cool. You've signed an admin deal with a publisher. Now, a publishing deal is basically saying, let's say your publishing deal is for 5 years. For anything that you make in 5 years, they own the rights to your publishing. Right? So, for example, when Aston Martin when we performed Higher, we made money on the master side and the publishing side. If I signed a publishing deal for Tems, whatever money they would have given us, the publishing company would have collected. You understand? Because I've relinquished the lights for a lump sum of money up front. I will never advise anybody to do this unless you're a producer. And if you're a producer, make sure your catalog is fat. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what happens is, after those 5 years, your deal may be done. But what happens is, there's something called retention period. So the retention period is, okay, you're done with the deal, but for the next 15 to 20 years, we are making money off your publishing. So for this project, now you can start a new publishing deal with a brand new set of projects post those 5 years. But those 5 years is to anchor the amount of work you do from a publishing standpoint in these deals. I will always make it common knowledge that don't sign publishing deals unless you're ready to check out. You understand? And if you're ready to check out, God willing, your catalog is so fat that they can give you $50 million for your publishing. Yeah, because publishing deals for artists it can enter the millions. But in this music industry, we know $1 million is nothing. You understand? You can shoot a music video for $400K. We have done it before. Well, $350K, but more or less the same. For one music video. Do you understand what I'm saying? So $1 million is nothing in music. And I'm not saying it as clickbait to make you guys say, oh, 1 million is... No. It's really not. Do you understand? I mean, that's why you can see all these celebrities buy these cars. You understand? Like 1 million is nothing in music. But dollars. But overall, I would say this, right? When you're thinking of doing deals, it has to do with what you want. You understand? Like, do you want money? Do you want longevity? Do you want freedom? Do you want creative control? What do you want? And based off what you want, sit down with your team, build the leverage to demand this on the table, and then ask for it. Because nobody's forcing you to sign anything that's presented in front of you. It's your choice to pick up the pen and sign. If you sign it and you say, oh, I don't understand, next time be more thorough. Because nobody is your family member here. Everybody's trying to do business. This is the music business. Like, I was trying to explain to artists, to the fans, y'all are amazing. But the hierarchy really and truly is the fans will answer to the artists will answer to the executives because the executives have the money. That's just it. So, and that's why I always tell people, the artists that last the longest are the ones that do what? Transition to executives. You're talking about Don Jazzy today, why? He's Maven. You're talking about Lamidin now, why? He's YBNL. Birdman, Lil Wayne, Jay-Z. Any artist that you're talking about today from the past has transitioned to business because artistry is a vehicle. Some people think it's the driver. If it's it can be the driver for you. But me, I already know whether like if music is your driver, you don't know about it. But if it's your vehicle, you can get out and hop into another vehicle. Do you understand? Because it's taking you to a certain junction and you can get out. If it's your driver, do you understand? You're stuck to the confinement of music because you cannot think outside of that. Because we signed a company, we registered a company together. At no point did I ever anchor my dreams on music. I always knew it was a vehicle for diversification. Why? Because I knew there will be a plateau that will happen in music because of diminishing returns as a result of oversaturation. The entry point for music is so porous. Today, if I want to be an artist, I can.
You can.
And if it's so easy to enter, it means it's being devalued. Because what is meant to be sacred and artistic becomes gimmicky and easy. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So from that standpoint, I knew that was happening.
Yeah.
And thank God that Timilade is somebody that I can teach. Because I told her this would happen. In fact, she called me recently. She said, man, that thing we spoken about is already happening. I said, thank you for remembering. Because it's the truth, you know. I've always understood, and that's one of my gifts. God has blessed me with the gift of foresight, not the ability to see the future. It's like, from what you're seeing now, this is most likely what's going to happen in the next 3 years. And I'm always ahead of it, you know. Glory be to God. So,
Thank God. Speaking of God,
yeah.
let's talk about how God has played a strong role in your life and the space he holds in your heart. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
I love talking about God so much because you see, living as a human being is a privilege. It's a very unique experience. But one thing you would understand is that nobody feels you more than you feel yourself. That's the human experience. It's why we're anxious. It's why we're stressed. It's why we feel doubt. It's why we feel fear. Because we know that we cannot anchor ourselves. Now, if that is true in the physical, how much more true is that in the eternal? Do you understand? And I also understand that he who takes the glory must take the shame. And from the standpoint of understanding the human sickness that is sin, which is causing all these things, by the way, that has allowed us to be so fragile and so fallen in our state, I realized that whatever you think is good cannot be good because it's like putting good food on a dirty plate. You understand?
Interesting.
Yeah. If you cook nice chicken and put it on a dirty plate, that good is still trash. You can't eat it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
It's tainted.
It's tainted. And because the same mouth you use to praise God is also the same mouth you use to insult somebody, your works are not good. They're contaminated. And when people talk about God, the definition for God is not, oh, this is a good God. No, it's a holy God. And the reverence for holiness for me is understood with how valuable something is. So let me give you an example. The Bible says the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. A lot of people don't understand what that fear is. If I scratch a stone, there's nothing. I've scratched a stone. If I go to a junkyard and I scratch a car there, it's in the junkyard. Maybe somebody might think I'm mad, but that's about it. Nobody's going to disturb me. If I go to the road, I scratch a car. Now I'm entering the realm of consequence. You understand what I'm saying? If I scratch a Ferrari, you understand what I'm saying? So the more valuable something is, the more sacred it is from the standpoint of blemish. Do you understand? It's also like trying to park a Ferrari. The fear you have when you're parking a Ferrari, you understand? That it's not that you're afraid of the car. There's a reverence you have. And that is what it is. Now, I'm not talking about a car. I'm talking about the eternal King of Kings. There is no blemish. In fact, the closest thing we have to understand holiness is the sun. It is the source of life, the source of light, and it is a consuming fire. And I believe God created that for us to understand his essence on the smallest scale possible. But look how far the sun is. Yet see all of us sweating here. Do you understand? That is the power of the eternal being. And that being understands his nature. So because he understands his nature and he is also justice plus mercy, how can he unify that? Because he has to punish what is blemish, what is sin. Do you understand? Because the wages of sin is death. And you know this in your life. If you do things that don't serve you, you are more or less dying. Do you understand? If you're fornicating too much, you're increasing the chances of you having an unhappy life or having STDs. If you eat too much, that's gluttony. You're increasing the chances of a heart attack. The wages of sin is literally death. The more you indulge in your desires, which is sin, the more you will face death. So that's the penance. That's the trade-off. So from a spiritual standpoint, what does that look like? Do you understand? What does that look like when you sin against God? Because they're sinning against your temple and sinning against your fellow man. What does it look like to sin against God? So sinning against God is disobedience fundamentally. So the things that God has told you to do that you don't do is basically saying you know better than God. Sacrilege. Because you are a creation. But God, understanding that the fall of man is as a result of Adam, has created a way for resolution through himself. Do you understand? which is why the concept of the Son of God, Jesus calling himself the Son of Man, which is God, and the Son of God, which is the position he holds in the triune state of his existence, he's come down to pay that penance in a way that we can't.
Yeah.
And all he asks is that we trust and believe him.
Yeah.
I would rather that path to salvation than trying to earn my way, because it makes sense. If I try and earn my way, I'll always fall short. But if someone has paid the price for me and all I need to do is rely on him, it makes sense that God is really real, especially in my own life, you know?
Let me ask you, how do you find that navigation within the current music industry for you? So this is speaking to me specifically.
Yeah.
Because I would imagine can feel like a lonely road.
It
To
is.
some degree. Tell us how your experience has been in that way.
So lonely, just because lonely is not the word. You are alone, but you're not lonely. And also I don't feel lonely because everyone on my team is like this. Do you understand?
That's
Like,
good.
even if you listen to the music that Tems makes, for example, you don't see it and feel like a demon is evoking things on your head. Do you understand? She possesses the elements of things that are good. Do you understand? She's talking about hope. She's talking about faith. And don't get twisted. It's not about perfection. It's progression. Do you understand? And that's one of the reasons why I love Christ. It's like, I know you can't get it right, so lean on me. And the moment you don't lean on me is when you start shaking. But the law is a mirror. It's not a sword. So the law is there for you to always check yourself and then come back. You understand? In Joel, it says, even now, come to me. Even now, that is as you are in your current state, come to me. And that is the beautiful thing about a relationship with God. Now, I'm in an industry that is stigma to be demonic, right? Cool, no problem. I feel music is a microcosm of life because every industry is corrupted, including the church. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, fashion, movies, politics, music, any industry you want to talk about, there is a stigma there that is probably not as prominent because these industries are not in your face. But all we need to do is go on Twitter and see the scandal that's happening in the Senate. There's literally that's the music industry too. Do you understand what I'm saying? So from that standpoint, what does that mean for me? It means that, one, I cannot prioritize this industry in any way, shape, or form. I must prioritize my salvation. So I must make sure, and it's not a sin to live a good life. Live a good life. Enjoy yourself. It is in God's plan for you to enjoy what He has given you. However, don't prioritize humanity over the Holy Spirit. And I've told God this. I'm like, look, at any point in time, if you feel this is compromising our walk, take it away. I'm fine. I've experienced enough of it to even understand what it really is. But all He's done is broaden my horizon. Because I feel when God blesses you, a blessing is just a different name for responsibility. He's trusted me with more artists. And all I can do is love my artists like Christ loved them. I preach to Omar every day. I send him scripture. I send him everything. And glory be to God, he's subscribing to it. You understand? From the standpoint of genuine curiosity. Tems is already in her faith, in her work. That's fantastic. Leka Toots is the same thing. So for me, it's like, look, may you prosper as your soul prospers, genuinely speaking. Do you understand? Because what I don't want is for us to enjoy this world, and then on the day of judgment, Jesus says, depart from me, I never knew you. That's tragic. And also that's scary. Because you've been deceiving yourself that you're enjoying your life, so therefore God is happy with me. And God said, I never knew you, meaning I don't have a relationship with you.
That's
I will take care of you because I'm faithful to my word. But you've denied me in front of people by the way you live, you know? So from that standpoint, that is why I don't feel it's lonely, because I don't think there's any cause worth dying for than that.
Okay.
And I feel like I'm a dead man most of the times. It's why I'm so audacious to say the things I want to say. When I say things like, I'm not here to entertain you, you just happen to be entertained. You think I'm insulting you. I'm telling you, I'm not a clown. Like, I'm not here to make you entertain. No. You're watching what a perfect God is doing with imperfect people. That's the second part of that tweet. It's real. And then when we win 2 Grammys in 6 years, you think it's because it's jazz. No, I'm telling you that God is showing you something. Why? Because if you look at me, all you're going to see is Christ. From my tweets, from my language, from my life. Do you understand? That's why God is like, look at him. That attention is just for that. And that's what people don't understand. Bro, I promise you, we don't know where the first Grammy is. It's somewhere in the office in Shepherd's Bush, but we don't know where it is. Some people they will carry it on their forehead and parade the streets. If there are 2, they will put 2 on their... I'm not here to stunt on anybody. I'm here to make you guys understand that these things are responsibilities. You're here to steward it. It's not your own. It's stewardship. That's how I feel about my money. If I can't just be irresponsible, I'll just be giving everybody money. Like sometimes God is putting you in that position to understand suffering. It's not for you to suffer, it's to understand it. Because suffering is needed for refinement. And I think people should have a different relationship with suffering. Because from my story, as you can see, I don't suffer. Who knows suffer? You understand? So from that standpoint, I genuinely feel to be a steward is very important. And if God trusts you, you would know. It's now a matter of you not being like Saul. Be like David instead, you know?
Shout out to DG for that stewardship.
Yeah, man. That devotion we just did was awesome. Beautiful. And you know what's so funny? Before he even sent it to me, they spoke about this in church. Like literally.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Honestly, we can talk
for ages.
Literally for ages. But I want to kind of tie this all together because there are a couple of things that you obviously have gone through an amazing journey.
Thank God.
You have had highs and lows in your career as a talent manager, as a music executive. I want to then think about what's next. So, you obviously have 3 amazing artists. I'll call Leka an artist as well. So Tems, Omale, Leka. You've also diversified into investments, invested in San Diego FC. What is on the horizon for you? What are you thinking? What's next? What has God put on your heart that you should focus on for the next couple of years?
This is probably the first time I'm going to say this.
Sure.
Right. I don't know.
I love that answer.
I move according to direction.
Okay.
I do have my plans, but I'm also aware that tomorrow I might not be here. So I'm present.
Sure.
Whatever the Lord has for me today, I steward, and I pray that I don't compromise my virtues in the Holy Spirit to attain anything. By the grace of God, the Vibe is doing quite a lot. It's just some things don't need to be announced.
No, gotcha.
We're into real estate. We're having conversations with venture capitalists to expand into different things. Like, people don't know we have real estate, bro. Like, because music cannot fund music. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you need things to actually, if your label is saying they can't approve budget and you have to move.
You need assets.
You need assets. Do you understand? So yeah, Living Vibe has diversified into real estate, diversified into sports. We're into movies too. That one, I can't.
It's coming.
You people will see it.
It's coming soon.
Yeah, not acting, no. I mean, by the grace of God, if Timmy wants to act, she can act. But this one is more of an oiling, So there's so many things that we want to do. But like I said, as God's time, God's pace, God's plan, I feel He that brought me here did not bring me here to put me to shame. Yeah. I also feel like I couldn't even dream the life I'm living right now, even if I planned it. Even if I planned to dream the dream, I couldn't have dreamt this, So from that standpoint, He that started it, keep taking me wherever, man.
Awesome, man.
I'm humbled. It's an honor, Jesus. Thank you. For real.
Thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
Means, thank you so much, man. This has
Femo, thanks for having me.
Honestly, a great conversation, man.
I pray so. Sometimes I feel like I ramble.
No. I think what happens is a lot of people really want to hear a story and they want to learn. And I think in this episode, we've actually covered a lot on both fronts. And thank you very much for taking the time. I know I'm a cousin, but really I appreciate you.
Nah, of course. Anytime, bro. Anytime. If the audience likes it, we can do part 2. So.
And for those listening, thank you for staying to the end and see you next time. Take care.